Okay, we'll call to order the May 28th, 2019 Park and Rec Board meeting. Can I get a roll call, please?
Member Cipolla.
Present.
Member Harris.
Present.
Member Heath.
Present.
Member Howdy Shell.
Present.
Member Supple.
Present.
Chairman Troutman.
Present.
Members Bartow and Eastwood are absent.
Okay, I'll stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Next up are the agenda minutes. We need acceptance of the minutes for April 23rd, 2019 and April 30th, 2019.
I move we accept the minutes, the consent agenda, both items A and B, the Park Board minutes and the Park Board minutes special meeting.
I second.
Okay, hearing a first and second. Any modifications? Not hearing any. We'll go ahead and vote. All those in favor? All those that abstain? Okay, and any noes? Nope. So 5 for, 1 abstain, 2 absent. Now we'll move on to staff reports. Superintendent, Director. Yeah.
I'll call on Superintendent McLean, make staff report.
Thank you, sir. I've submitted a written report in the packet for this evening. Would like to highlight just a couple of things real quick, mainly for athletic coordinator Brennan. He's been working with the South Metro Sports Group, and recreational baseball games and softball games have started. Practices are still going on. A lot out at Memorial while we have tournaments going on the weekends. So that's been taking up quite a bit of his time this month. We wrapped up soccer at the beginning of the month and still trying to fit in a couple of rain makeups, but had a tournament. So it's a busy month as we're kicking off for summer. And with that, Coordinator Van Coolen, she's been working very diligently on preparing for summer camp that starts next week. So we've had parent meetings. She's hosted coordinator and counselor trainings, and has prepared the facility, the RAC, where we will be hosting summer camp this summer. Looking forward to that and preparing it and getting things lined up and ready to go. Would like to highlight that this past weekend we did have a USSSA tournament. This was by far the largest tournament that we have hosted. We had an entire 11U division out there, and then they actually had some overflow on our small fields for 8U for machine pitch. So we had a total of 38 teams that were in Raymore playing for a USSSA tournament, and we did see some. I wanted to highlight that we knew some were flying in, but we did see some license plates from Iowa, Nebraska, Kansas, Colorado, and Arkansas, as well as Missouri. So it was nice to see that out at Recreation Park, and we had a lot of compliments on the facility. So that was very exciting, and tournament director was very pleased. So thanks to Steve and his crew with the weather and everything that we fought around. We only had to cancel a couple games on Friday night, but the rest played as scheduled. So want to give them a lot of congrats on the hard work that they put in on this holiday weekend. So, and then finally, I just want to highlight and address that the Walter Butt Memorial Fishing Derby, we did move that to September due to the weather delays of the construction at Hawk Ridge. Since the trail is not laid and it's a muddy mess to get to the lake however you go, we did decide to move that to September. So we did want to highlight that that is moved, but we still have coming up in June Movie in the Park and Spirit of America. So that concludes staff report.
Any questions for Superintendent McLean? Jenny?
Normally, the fishing derby goes along with the open fishing for the Missouri Open Fishing. Residents are still allowed to go out there and do the open fishing, though. We're just not going to have the fishing derby until September.
Right.
I just wanted to make that clear.
Yes, the fishing derby, the open swim, you can go out there. You know, we do ask that you be cognizant of the construction. You know, we didn't completely close off that lake, and you know, people are, they have been fishing out at Recreation Pond too, between the refilling of all the storm water runoff and them dumping. But we did talk to the MDC as well about moving that date, and the main thing is that anybody that's under the age of 16 can still fish without a license on the September date. It's just the parents will have to have a license. So that open date
fishing
is
still open
Missouri State.
fishing,
Yep.
Missouri, okay.
By the Department of Conservation, correct.
All right, thanks.
Not a problem.
Anyone else? Thank you, Mr. McLean.
Thank you.
Director?
Thank you. I'll call on Superintendent Rulo for a Parks report.
Thank you. I also had submitted a written report, but wanted to hit on a few key items. Just wanted to let you all know that our staff has been trying to do routine mowing. With the weather, it's just hard to keep our heads above water, but we'll get there. We try to hit the main vocal points first, and then we move on down the line. Hopefully this weather's going to move out by next week. We'll be able to get caught up. I wanted to also let you know that the light project at Recreation Parks Field 1 and 2, it's 99.9% complete. From here, or in my report, it says everything but the concrete pad. That concrete pad has actually been poured already. Now all they have to do is come back in and put the dirt work behind it or around it, and the staff will be seeding that as soon as they get done. Wanted to say thank you for everybody who came out to the huge Arbor Day celebration that we had today. It was quick trying to get in before the rain, but thank you all for coming out. I do appreciate that. And just wanted to let you know that as of tomorrow morning, my third and last seasonal position will have started, so that will help as soon as the weather breaks also to get caught up. So that concludes my report, and would be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions for Superintendent Rulo? No? Thank you, sir. Director?
Thank you. I want to do something a little bit different tonight. Instead of a written staff report, I provided a couple things that were presented to the city council last week in work session. I was called upon by the city manager to do a quick presentation to the council last week on GeoBond project updates and our new facilities, just to give the council an update. And I thought this would be a good time because it was kind of a last minute request. I wanted to be sure that the park board got the same report, so I provided the same materials. I'll give a quick update, and you can ask any questions for any of me, John, Steve, or Greta if she's willing to talk on camera, but I would recommend you not ask her. We will all pay for that. So so what I want to do is just give a brief highlight of what is attached in the packet. The first page is Centerview. This is basically a report over the 2 years that we've been open at Centerview. It gives a hard, direct cost summary of what we're doing, how we basically came out financially in the first year, which would have been June 17th through May this time last year, and then last year, June, to this year, currently in May, where we are in our finances, rentals, things like that. The graph that you see, the table, those are actual rentals. It's not a summary of what types of things we do. Those are actual things that were reserved and the facility was utilized. It's very important to note that the first year was part of the program where we were basically giving some discounts, doing some negotiating on the rental fees. So we expected to not meet cost that first year. We wanted people to come in and enjoy it. and advertised the fact that it would go full price in that second year. And I think in that report, you can see the difference that made. And we're excited that on those direct costs, we are in the black. So that's a good report for Centerview. It's a very popular facility, as you guys all know that. One of the things that we're adding to Centerview, which will be coming this year, is the ability to video and live stream our meetings, so that if this facility is busy, any of the government commissions or boards can move over to Centerview and have their meetings there as well. So that's something that we're looking forward to. Second is the rack. This is just since we've opened last September. Again, the first page is actual rentals, things that we've used it for. The things that I've also listed on there. Excuse me, I lost my train of thought on that. Underneath that table is what we are also planning for upcoming programs and things, not necessarily in that graph, but you can see that we're looking at drop-in adult volleyball, adult basketball. We have craft shows, movie nights, all these special events. So the building is not just used for sports. We're using it. Recreation Coordinator Van Coolen's Spring Craft Show was an example of how popular that facility can be for us. So pretty excited about what the possibilities hold for that. I will say that the one thing that we get out of that, most people come into that building, they're very pleased, they're excited about it. I wouldn't say it's a complaint, but it's mostly a request, is there's not enough stuff for seniors to do. And with that being said, it's not that they can't go in and utilize and walk the track and those things. It's the classrooms. It's the ability to have bicycles in there, do spinning classes, do yoga classes, because right now, like the yoga and things like that, we're doing at Centerview. And so it's classrooms that they're wanting, and that I would say would be, if you read the surveys and stuff, that would be the biggest thing that people are wanting out of the rack. So before I move on to the Geo Bond projects, are there any questions on the facilities?
Any questions? I do have one. When we have open volleyball and open basketball, are we charging a nominal fee, or is that still, or we are?
Yes, we're charging a fee. We're setting that up. We were finding that we had more individual people wanting to try to get their teams together, and so since it's a start of a new program, instead of doing the basketball team fee and the adult volleyball team fee, we kind of took a spin off of that open play futsal, and Todd came up with that, and there is a minimal fee, but it is very affordable for what they're going to get. So it helps to where hopefully we can build teams with that, or do just pick up games and stuff. So that way it also doesn't lock us into volleyball being 6v6. It can actually be 4-on-4 volleyball if 8 people show up or 9 people show up, and then they can just rotate through. So, yep.
Thank you. Anyone else? Oh, Melinda.
So how much is that nominal fee?
I don't remember off the top of my head.
I wonder if that was why you were saying it,
$25.
I believe it is.
$25.
I believe it is 25.
There you go. 25
for a
person.
per person for how long?
It's 6 weeks.
Oh, okay. So they pay for a 6 week. So so if you just want to go and play one night, then
It's $25. If you want to go play in all 6 of the nights, it's $25.
is there any other time you can just go and up there and just shoot some hoops or something like that if you want?
During our normal open business hours, if we don't have a program in there, but we do not have staffing staying late after normal business hours. So it's during that program time slot that we schedule, because we have martial arts on there. So one is like Monday night, one's Tuesday night, and then martial arts is Wednesday night. So right now, Thursday night's about the only open night. We did have futsal going on Friday night. So we do have programs planned in there.
Okay.
Director?
Thanks, sir. So the next thing I want to go over is the Hawkridge Park and give you a quick update of where we are at TB Hanna. I provided some pictures. These were the slideshow that we did with the city council last Monday, so I just put them in your packet. And what you see in these pictures is basically it's the amphitheater. And we're standing, when we took these pictures, we're standing at the top of the bowl looking down at the amphitheater on that first page. And what's exciting about the bowl is that we have gone in and graded and terraced it out. So we have different levels as the bowl gets down to ground level right in front of the amphitheater. It's a large facility. You guys are going to be very pleased and very excited. Once we get a little bit closer and it's not so muddy, we can do a work session out there and kind of do a walkthrough. Right now, we have a hard time just the staff getting out there at work, getting around the construction site. It is, the rain and the weather has really hampered progress on getting this done. So we're close. It's just a matter of drying out a little bit so that we don't have to regrade some stuff and being able to pour concrete and pour asphalt. And from that point, once we get that done, I mean, it's a matter of just days of wrapping things up and we're ready to go. The next page is up on the amphitheater. If the board will remember, the back side of that amphitheater has sliding kind of barn door look that you can open or close the back of the amphitheater so we can project sound out towards the bowl, or you can, especially during the sunset, you can block that sunset off so it's not kind of blinding the audience, or you can open that up and have the lake as background. It's a really neat feature. Those things are custom designed, and I think everybody's going to really like those. On the far right-hand corner of that particular page, there's some steel bracing, looks kind of like a metal ladder. That's actually swinging doors that open and fold, tri-fold doors that do the same thing. So you can close those and have it one panel width and really open the stage, or you can open them up and you can, musicians, you can hide equipment for stage and theatrical performances. You can hide props and stuff behind there. So really made it multi-use. The amphitheater is going to be very, very neat. You can also see the boardwalk that's directly behind the amphitheater in that picture. The next page is the Montrose restroom that was part of the MDC grant. Then there's a little bit of a rock wall. I showed a picture there. They started building that. That's actually along the parking lot at the amphitheater, the south parking lot, where the hill comes down. So if you guys drive down there right at the construction site where they break the bank off and they're starting to grade that, there's gonna be that rock wall there right along the parking lot. It's gonna look really nice. The bottom three pictures, that's the picnic shelter over where the Hawks Nest playground will be, next to the fishing dock. And both restrooms are fully functional. They have power to them. Plumbing is all connected and hooked up. It's really a matter of asphalt and concrete, being able to pour those things. So all of these items outside of the Montrose restroom, which was hand-picked, everything is custom designed. There's nothing else out there like that in the country. That it's all customized based on our request and the things we want to do. I would like to say a big thank you to our engineering department who does the day-to-day managing of the contract, working with the contractor, making sure things are done. Greg and Pascal and Mike Crass have really worked hard and worked well with us, so we just want to make sure we say thank you to them in public. I know that they know we appreciate them. The next page is the TB Hanna master plan. We've been working on this. You guys have seen this a lot. This is for the councils last week, just to give them an update so that you guys know where we're at as well. We haven't changed the plans really at all. What we have done, and part of our meeting tonight will fulfill some of this, but we have bid out the ice rink. We've got prices on both the synthetic rink and a real ice rink. We're really waiting on selecting that, and once the pricing comes in for everything else, if we can afford to do real ice, that's exactly what we want to do. So we wanted to have options there, so we have those prices in. They're both prices for both pieces, whether it's synthetic or the real ice, is within our budget of what we were anticipating it to be, so we got good pricing there. It's really a matter of how everything else comes out. Then we can pick what we can afford to do. The next thing is the restroom concession building, kind of in the middle, that serves as our concessions, the bathrooms, and the pump house. That has been ordered. It is a customized prefabricated concrete facility. So much like the Montrose, which is basically a concrete building that you buy and they bring in, It's the same thing. We just ordered it and we customized it to fit our needs. So we worked really well with the public restroom company, got it designed, and now it's in manufacturing for us. So with that being being manufactured now, we're backlogging and ordering everything else and pulling it all together. The playground and the spray ground equipment is a direct buy through Unlimited Play and Variety KC based on the MOU and the donation. So we've already picked all that out. You guys have seen all of those things. If you can't remember, just let me know and I'll show you what those things are. I believe we did it in a work session at one point. But those things are ready to be ordered. We're not really waiting on that. The station house, we will work on tonight, get the station house contract going for that. And all that's left is the site work, which is basically electrical, plumbing, hookup, doing some general grading and stuff. We have bid that out. We are working with the contractor. Not overly excited about the pricing, so we're just negotiating back and forth. We're not out of time yet. Time is ticking, but we do have some options. So once we're ready to finalize that, we'll bring it to the board. And whether it be in a special meeting in June or our regular June meeting, we want to make sure our timing works for that. But that is TB Hanna. It seems like nothing's happening, but behind the scenes and behind the curtain, it's rolling. A lot is happening. So happy to answer any questions on either of the parks.
Any questions for the director?
Yeah, quick
Ryan?
question. What's in the plans, or is there anything in the plans as of yet for landscaping around Hawk Ridge Park and all these amenities that are being added once they're done, as far as getting all this converted over to grass and so on and so forth?
Okay. At Hawk Ridge Park, there's a minimal landscaping plan. There was a massive landscaping plan when we first did a master plan on it. A lot of that was value engineered out, and as negotiations always do that. But there is up around the facilities, there's trees and bushes and, rain gardens and things like that. The bowl and out in the outer areas, it will be seed, and we'll have some straw matting that we put down. Right now is really a good time to do it. We just can't get finished to get it done. So we anticipate it being more of a fall growing season based at this point in time. We were hoping to hit the spring season, which would have been a really good one. However, the straw matting is kind of one of those things that we've added on based on the rain and stuff, because it just continues to wash that bowl out, and we're regrading, so we want to put that on to hold the ground steady. TB Hanna Station, a lot of the landscaping is included in the site work contract that we're under negotiations with. Some of it we're doing ourselves just to save cost, and a lot of it would be some tree removal and stuff. There won't be near as much landscaping there as much as they'll just be planting and growing seed, because we want to keep that pretty well open green space because of the way we use the park with farmers market and special events and stuff.
Anyone else? Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Moving on, we have no unfinished business, so we'll move on to new business. Action item A, TB Hanna Improvements Station House Renovation. Director?
Thank you. As previously discussed in my staff report, the station house is part of the TB Hanna Improvements. This will be the first of one more major contract coming to the board for TB Hanna. This is essentially renovating the old post office building. If the board will remember, that was a piece of property that we purchased about a year and a half ago, finalized the entire city block as TB Hanna. We wanted to maintain that facility with the historic relevance that it has for the area, but we did want to convert it. So it will be renovated to look like basically the historic train depot from Raymore in 1908 is, I believe, the picture that we have. And inside it'll we're gutting it. It's going to be a storage facility. The idea will be that it will store the ice rink and any of our special events equipment. So the public really won't have access inside. The outside is, we're putting wood batten board around the outside, a red tin roof to match the depot, and making sure we got lights and water inside. Everything else is kind of taken out of it. It's a very basic, simple project. And one of the things that we did take away from this which has happened since we last met as a board, is there's a deck on the west side where you walk in, and part of the project was to basically power wash and restain the deck. The Rotary Club came to us. They have a grant, an annual grant for like $2,500. It's a service grant that they do. Last year they worked with Belton Parks and Rec, and they did a service project. This year they came to us. I basically proposed removing that deck and putting in a new one that's about 30 foot, so it looks more of a boardwalk off of an old train depot. And they will partner with us, purchase the equipment, we'll guide them on the design and stuff, they'll help us build that, and so we were able to take that off of this. So I've already presented at the Rotary Club. They do have to do a grant application, but they have to do a project, so if that's the only one they're doing, it's pretty much a guarantee. But that's really the only change that we've done within the project. We did put it out to bid. We had pre-bid meetings. We had 3 contractors come in and go through the project with us. We had one who submitted a bid, was well within our budget. We were pleased with it. We've worked with them before, and staff is here to recommend R.L. Phillips as the contractor for the TB Hanna Station renovations. That concludes staff report.
Any questions for the director? Not hearing any questions, I'll ask for a motion.
I move we recommend approval of Bill 3457, the TB Hanna Station improvements for the station house renovation.
I'll second that.
Hearing a first and second, any discussion? Okay, with no discussion, we'll put it to a vote. All those in favor? Against? Okay. Votes 5-1. Okay, item B, action item B, alcohol in the park request. Director?
Thank you, sir. If the board will remember, at Hawk Ridge Park, we are doing a fundraiser for the Hawk's Nest, our all-inclusive playground. What we are doing, the committee for the fundraising committee that is basically staff fundraising, putting ideas together and doing some stuff. One of the first major ideas and things that we're going to do, well, let me back up. The kickoff for fundraising will be the grand opening of Hawk Ridge Park. We want to do all of that on site. We want to announce things, have a big promotional event on the playground when we're all out there for the park. The delay on that has been on purpose for that timing. We've been working with Unlimited Play. They have a new fundraiser, full-time fundraiser on staff, whose sole job once we start is to fundraise and contact people and work alongside us. That doesn't take us away from having to do some stuff ourselves. So we have a couple of different ideas over the next year and a half, about every 3 months, another big special event that's fundraising in nature. One of the first things we would like to do is an adult softball tournament. And we are working with Jay Southland Tow. They're a longtime softball team. They're a company here in Raymore, but they've had a softball team in our leagues for years and years. I've known them for a long time. We do have a mutual friend that would very much benefit from this type of a playground. So I knew that they've done a lot of work for that particular family. I knew they'd have a heart for this, and they jumped at the chance to do something like this. So we want to do an adult softball tournament. The details are really depending on how many teams we get, whether it be like just Saturday only or Sunday only or Saturday, Sunday. We just don't know until registrations start coming in. We'll get some more details with that, but one of the big things we want to do, and it sounds bad, but I'm just going to say it's really critical in raising a lot of money, is to be able to sell alcohol when you're doing it. We're going to do some silent auctions, some fundraising stuff. It's Jay Southland Tow. It's their guys that are going to recruit these people and help kind of promote and drive the funding up. And we want them to have fun and be there. So as part of our alcohol in the park policy, a request before the park board is before you. Being a staff-driven event, all we need is park board's recommendation for this. This does not have to go on to city council like a private event would. So we're here asking for permission to sell alcohol at this event. Although open to the public, it is considered a private event. You just can't walk in. You got to pay to play. So it will have some criteria there. And we've already contacted a local caterer who works with the Arts Commission, has done the wine and dines and the paint and sips and stuff like that at Centerview. So the company's familiar. Embrace the Grape is who we would use. So they're pretty excited about this. So this is our request to the park board to be able to do that in July. Happy to answer any questions.
Any questions for the director? Okay, hearing none. If I can get a motion.
I move we approve the alcohol in the park permit for the fundraising event for Hawk Ridge.
I'll second.
Hearing a first and a second, any discussion? No, not hearing any at this time. We will take it to a vote. All those in favor? All those opposed? Passes 6-0. Next on the agenda, public comment. Next, board member comment, and we'll start with you, Jenny. You just look like you have something to say.
No, thank you.
Jim?
No comment.
Melinda?
I have none this evening.
Rich? Or I'm sorry, Ryan?
None tonight.
I apologize profusely for that. Brian?
Thank you for calling me Brian. While everybody's anxious to get home to their family tonight, I do have a comment I'd like to make this evening. It is with extreme sadness that I'm making what is most likely my last park board comment. I recently learned that I was not recommended by the mayor as an appointee to continue my service on this board. Over these last 12 years, I've had the pleasure to work with 3 Parks and Rec directors, 3 mayors, 2 city managers, and countless park board members. I've seen Raymore continue to grow, and that includes the Parks Department's growth as well. One of our first projects when I came on board was the Memorial Park concession building. Since that time, there have been many projects, some big, some small, some very visible, and some that are behind the scenes, but all of them were for the betterment of this community. I have no regrets on my time on the board, but I do feel as though I have left some things unfinished. I would still like us to get some more land and relocate our soccer fields and increase our baseball complex. Another huge boost for Raymore would be the addition of a good-sized, well-equipped dog park. As I depart, I want to thank every park board member I've served with. Each and every one of you have made this journey an invaluable experience and worthwhile endeavor, and we will forever be linked from this duty we call park board. I also want to thank the Parks and Rec staff. The effort and work you put into the city's programs, buildings, trails, gardens, flower beds, and green spaces do not go unnoticed. The thanks may go unheard, but the effort and work is never unnoticed. As a citizen and participant, I truly want to thank you for everything you do for the city to make it a better place to live and play. Thank you.
Thank you, Brian. Just a quick follow-up. There are a lot of great things going on right now in the Parks and Rec Department, and I want to thank the staff for the work they've done. It's not easy with the weather that's going on now and dealing with the projects going on. Not necessarily the greatest time, I'm sure, but I appreciate all the hard work you guys put in, the people behind the scenes. Also appreciate those who support City Council, the ones that Nathan mentioned earlier that helped us with some of the projects and planning, the mayor and so forth. So with that said, that's my comment, and we'll move into adjournment. If I can get a motion for adjournment.
For the last time, I move we adjourn.
I'll second.
Okay, I have a first and second. All those in favor? We're adjourned 6-0.